Hi everybody, I'm Stu.
And I'm Kevin, and we are the Chalkboard Agency. And you're watching this video because maybe your school or district has subscribed to our video library, or maybe you're thinking about watching it. So this is some information about what this video library is all about.
Excellent. Every video is laid out exactly the same way. It's about somewhere between 4 and 8 minutes, and there is an introduction, mostly to create context, and then there's the story itself, told by a storyteller, and then the third part is what we would call the follow-up, the lesson plans. And we have a really simple structure because we also know how busy everybody is. So it's the same every single time.
And so it's consistent for your kids. Once they learn about the Chalkboard Agency videos, they'll know what to expect and how to interact with them. Now, we are calling this our video library because we have lots of different stories from lots of different people on tons of different subjects. And some of these stories are funny, and some of them are heartwarming, and some of them are heart-wrenching, and some of them are, well, they're all very real.
And memorable. They're very memorable.
And we want to make sure that you pick the right one for your students with where they're studying and where they're at. And so keep in mind that idea of a library. Take one off the shelf. If that's right for you and your kids, please use it. If this isn't what they need at that time, leave that one on the shelf. And so make sure that you pre-watch each video before you present it to a group to make sure it's what they need at that time and it's going to work for them.
Yeah, our job wasn't necessarily to editorialize or judge.
Yeah.
All our job was to collect the stories and allow you and all those watching to reflect on it, which brings us to the piece about curriculum. If the story itself is curriculum, the follow-up would make it the lesson, like what is it that we're learning? And we've even structured that for you to keep it nice and simple. And there's lots and lots of different ways to apply that. In fact, on our website, there's so many different ways that we've created for you to apply the lessons. It has its own button on the website called How to Use These Videos. It couldn't be any more simple than that.
We know how much teachers and all educators are asked to do, so we don't want to make it any more complicated. Press play, it all happens, and immediately following the story comes the questions that you can interact with, and on our website, tons of ways to use those questions. And there's lots of ways to implement this program in your schools. Maybe just one teacher is choosing to use it. That's awesome. Take your pick of any of the videos that work for you. Maybe the entire school is choosing to use the Chalkboard Agency videos. You can choose one video to focus on that everybody watches at the same day, and then you all kind of share in that experience.
And they'll be talking about it back and forth, and what'd you think, and how'd you feel that way?
The name Chalkboard Agency comes from the idea that in a classroom, there's one chalkboard, and we all kind of get a chance to interact with that shared experience. It could also be that different videos are assigned to different grades based on what they're studying and what their needs are at that time. Make sure that you and your colleagues do what teachers do best. Use tools in intentional ways that are going to serve kids. Because if you take a book off the shelf in 6th grade, you don't want to try and read that same book in 9th grade. And so make sure you get the most out of the subscription by being intentional by who uses what video when.
Absolutely. And finally, storytelling goes all the way back to predating modern language, clear back to putting things on walls. And we have all these tools at our disposal, and this is the best one because as former educators, we know how difficult it is out there and how hard things are. We wanted to keep it nice and simple, and it is our sincere hope that these tools will do just that. Hey, I'm Stu.
I'm Kevin. Thanks so much.
We're the Chalkboard Agency.